Hello, I'm Mike Tollefson. I work at Neshoba Regional High School. And so, what I'm going to chat with you today is about Gemini Gems. So, first off, Gemini is Google's version of generative AI chatbot that takes prompts and then gives you some sort of output based upon that. And so, what a gem is basically it is a uh, portion of Gemini where you can create customized versions essentially by saving the prompt that you will reuse over and over again. And so the idea behind what I'm going to show you today is first I'm going to show you some navigation within Gemini and how to find some pre-made gems. But then ultimately, I'm going to link that to a use case for teachers where you're going to create a chatbot that you can share Google Classroom and other places that allows students to study in a way that is Socratic and helpful and can be based upon your course materials. And so with that, instead of looking at this, let's actually go to the live screen. And so if you type in Gemini at the top, which I've already done, what it'll do is it'll open a new window. And actually opening this new window today, I noticed a slightly modified interface. So don't be surprised if this interface changes slightly over time. And so what you see on the left side are a number of different options. And below those options are all the different instances that I've used for different results that I've interacted with Gemini on the right side of the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to click on gems. And so this is the portion of Gemini that actually stores different things. And so the pre-made prompts is the way to do that. And so I'm going to just point out at the top here, pre-made by Google, going to click on show more. And actually one of the ones that's pretty pertinent to what we're talking about is this learning coach. And so I'm showing you this because this is already available and can be used directly, but it's a generic learning coach. So if I click on that, it'll open a new window, and it's actually giving me some examples on what you want to learn about, right? So since I teach physics, I want to say, I am a student in high school that is learning about mechanical energy. All right. And I'll go, can you help? Don't necessarily have to say that, but I'll do that. Can you help me? All right. So then I'll click that in. And so what's behind the scenes, and I can show what's behind the scenes, but what's behind the scenes is, okay, so it's going to act as a learning coach, which is something when we make our own custom prompt, we will end up selecting that as an option. It has a persona where it's going to be really positive and, wait, I'd love to help you, blah, that kind of stuff. And so it takes you through some stuff. It focuses on the two key things that, as far as I'm concerned, is kinetic energy and potential energy. So those are listed there. It has a learning plan, and then it can take you through some things, right? So it's starting to do all of that. And so at the end, it says, well, before we look at the math, what questions do you have about the difference between kinetic or potential energy? Or if you feel good, let's try a quick scenario. So let's see, I feel good. So we'll see if it infers that I want it to do something. So yeah, so it takes me a little further into the lesson. And I know that eventually I could, well, so it has a little riddle here at the end. We're not going to go through the content, so that's not exactly the point here, but I can go on and say, well, I'll do it as an example, create a problem that I can solve. All right, and so this is already available. Students should be able to access this on their own, right? So it gives me a little something there. Like in my class, G doesn't. So I'll say let's make b equal to 10 meters per second, and it'll alter the question. So anyway, the point is there are pre-made gems out there that can potentially be used. All I wanted to do is just make you aware that those things exist. If I go back and click on gems, we see there's other things there that can be used for other stuff, and used for other subjects on top of that. So Learning Coach isn't the only thing. You got Writing Editor, you've got Brainstorm, which can be used in different places. So the next part that I'm going to discuss in the next video is, now how do we apply this to create our own custom study buddy?